All right. We are here for a series reaction. I'm taking instant out because the series ended yesterday. My dumb self muted one of the audio channels. We got that quick relatively quickly. I'm joined with by Chris Muller, and we're going to talk a little bit about the series. We actually know now that Florida lost the series against South Carolina, and what we have in the future. How you doing, Chris?
Doing great, Steve. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm just peachy. I'm just really peachy. I mean, I can't believe I did that yesterday, but I guess it happens.
It's all good. I mean, when you get a series sweep, we all get really excited and stuff happens. So, a really great weekend for the Rebels. Can't really ask for anything more than what we did in Tuscaloosa. Just an all around great performance for everybody. Pitchers pitched, hitters hit, base runners ran. It was a really great series. What'd you think?
I really like it after the slow start in game one, starting with the home run by Peyton Chatagnier in the top of the ninth. The bats really got going. It was a pretty good series. It was good to have Doug back. It was nice to see the little runs they went on for a basketball term. They put a couple of crooked innings on the board.
Absolutely. I mean, you touched on it a little bit. Peyton's home run at the top of the ninth in the first game, absolutely the catalyst. Peyton is just such an energy guy. The team really gets a ton of energy off of him. John Rice Plumlee, I think, is another one of those energy guys. If you saw the broadcast yesterday, it looks like he was having a lot of fun with the fans out in right field in Tuscaloosa. So those are two really energy guys for me. Gunner, had a little bit of a rough outing, allowed 3 home runs, but allowing solo home runs really doesn't hurt you that bad. It's just really one guy up to the plate, 1 run, get after the next batter. Not really that big a deal. And then Myers came in relief of Gunner through 2 1/3 innings of really good baseball, and then Broadway came in for his 5th save, and then actually recorded his 6th save in the second game on Friday night. So that was really cool for them. We talked a little bit about Doug. Doug coming back off of his pectoralis minor strain, as Coach Bianco has put it. 5 innings on Friday night, 7 strikeouts. So that was really good. A guy that really impressed me that's been kind of under the radar, wasn't a starter to start out the season, is TJ McCants. TJ had a really great game on Friday night. Second home run got us on the board in the 5th inning, I believe it was. Looking right now, yeah, it was the 5th. And then I talked about Broadway getting his 2nd save. McCants is a guy that has really impressed me. Picked up that outfield spot, did a lot of work for Peyton Chatagnier when Peyton was hurt. But he's really such a versatile player. Sounds like Mike Bianco can put him anywhere on the field and he can play. If Gonzalez were to ever go down, I think TJ could absolutely fill in that role at shortstop. Has proven that he can put in that role for second base. Has played an outstanding center field. I think he had a great midweek catch. I think it was midweek or it was last weekend that he went, just covered so much ground. It was really, really great. Right now he's hitting just 2 points under 300, so I'm really happy with McCants and where he is as a freshman.
Yeah, and speaking, you spoke earlier about JRP. A lot of media members seem to discount him last year for all 4 years, not knowing how much that kid is willing to work and is actually starting SEC games and delivering in SEC games this season.
Absolutely. I mean, I think John Rice Plumlee's come a long way at the plate. Coach Bianco talked about it yesterday in the press conference, just his approach at the plate, and obviously transitioning from football. I mean, we've got to remember that he lost the whole fall to football. Lost. We use that term relative, but he was on the football field during the fall semester and really didn't get over the baseball diamond until after the Outback Bowl. And so, even December, a time frame where you might look at John Rice Plumlee getting some hacks in the batting cage, he was actually learning the wide receiver position at that point in time. So good for us from a standpoint of football, and obviously good for us from a standpoint of baseball, because I think that, again, you put John Rice Plumlee in center field or right field, and TJ McCants in either one of those positions, golly, those two guys will lock it down defensively. It's just incredible to see some of the catches that they're able to make. if you put the two of them together, I wouldn't think that a ball's going to drop in between them. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, it's fantastic. And when I watch them play the outfield, I think about what it could look like with the addition of Jerry and Ely out there. Playing center field with those guys in the corner outfield spots. That could be interesting to see because fly balls would just go to die there.
Yeah, that would be. I didn't think about that, but that's a really, really interesting comment and crazy thought to think about. Just the speed of those athletes that we have out there that would be able to, just like you said, just track really anything down that doesn't get hit against a wall or anything else like that. I think that would, looking forward, that's just a crazy thought. So batting wise, I mean, Elko had a just tremendous game yesterday. Had the bases clearing double to take the lead over Alabama in the fifth inning after Bama put the first run on the board, and then had the home run as well. And, from a perspective of 4 for 5, you can't really ask for anything more from a guy. One of the questions in the press conference yesterday was, what do you do as far as a coaching perspective with a guy like that who's really locked in? And Coach Bianco said, well, you just get out of his way. And so I would kind of agree with that. Right now, you just get out of Tim Elko's way, let him and his mustache do the work, and ride the train.
Now, when Trey LaFleur comes back from mono and Kel Baker comes back from his thing, it's not an automatic. They're going to go straight back in the lineup. Elko may have found a home over there.
I would agree with that. I think the lineup's still in play. I think we've demonstrated that yesterday. I think putting John Rice Plumlee in right field might have been a precursor to what we can see with things to come. I just don't know that Hayden Leatherwood's bat is as strong as it really needs to be. And, I hesitate to say that, but that's just me thinking. And I thought about that earlier in the week, had a conversation with somebody about that. So I think that could be something we look forward to in the future. But you look at the lineup from a hitting perspective, we've got Bench right now. Bench led off yesterday at 318. Chatagnier, who usually leads off, right now is hitting 367. We've got Kevin Graham, who is hitting 341. Let me go back to Bench for a second. 11-game hitting streak, including 6 SEC games. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about the future of the SEC schedule. Elko at 341 as well. Hayden Dunhurst at 329. We look at Hayden Dunhurst from a catching perspective, but golly, the guy just contributes so much at the plate as well. So he's not just a defensive catcher. He's also an offensive weapon. And then you look at the guys that are just barely under 300. About T.J. McCants at 298. And then Jacob Gonzalez at 283, followed by J.R. Plumlee with 263. So up and down the lineup, we've got guys that can just really rake, really contribute at a really high level.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out against Florida because we may have found some special sauce. Our downtime earlier this season, if you can even call it that, happened with Peyton Chatagnier, either injured or just coming back from injury. Whenever he's out, there's a little bit of hole in the lineup, but whenever he comes back in, this lineup becomes tough.
Absolutely, and you brought up the injury to Chatagnier, and in reality, we have not seen the 9 people that we thought we would see preseason in the lineup yet. When we had Kel Baker out the first weekend with what was assumed to be a COVID situation, and then we had Chatagnier go out with the hamstring in the Texas series, we've not seen the 9 guys that were penciled in early on to be the starting 9. So what that means for us going forward, I'm really excited about. I'm excited to see how the lineup continues to evolve and everything else like that. So, I'm really excited. You can't ask for anything more than what we did this weekend. I was reading a little bit before we got started. I think we're the first team since South Carolina in 2016 to start 6-0 in the SEC. We're the first team in the Mike Bianco era in the SEC West to go 6-0. And then yesterday, in the broadcast that we practice on, you talked about it being the first time since 1969 with Archie at shortstop that the Rebels have gone 6-0 in SEC.
Yeah, it's quite something to see. And of course, Chris comes over and talks about baseball from the Rebel Walk. Evelyn and the crew do a fantastic job providing a subscriber level experience for people, and all the content is free. So go over there, check it out, and read all the information you want to see. Chris is one of the people there. Now let's change gears a little bit to Florida. We got the Gators coming up. They've already dropped two. They're a sweeps in play for South Carolina right now. They're making big hits and they're just running down everything in the outfield.
Yeah, I mean, I've not seen. I watched a little bit of the Florida South Carolina series on Friday night. I didn't stay up for all 14 innings, but it's a road test. Florida's a great club. They're obviously going to bounce back from the South Carolina series. Us going on the road to Florida is exciting for our guys. I know, getting to go to Alabama and getting that first taste of SEC road play and getting the sweep, I'm sure is exciting for our guys. The COVID freshmen, we've got to look at this. This is their first trip through the conference. So people like Shatnya, even though they're sophomores or second-year players, this is their first trip through this gauntlet. And so it's going to be interesting to see how we respond to going on the road into a real legitimate hostile environment in the University of Florida.
Yeah, new stadium in Florida, by the way. So watch SEC Network Plus for that. It's a Thursday through Saturday. I'm going to put you on the spot like I always do after every one of these series reaction. Who have you got in the midweek? Pitching.
Midweek. Good question. I think we go with McDaniel to start, and then I think it's Johnny Bullpen the rest of the way. I think we've got a lot of guys that can soak up a lot of innings. I think Wes Burton, another one of my favorite guys. He only got to pitch one out last night, so I think that we'll see him for at least an inning on Tuesday. So I just think that we're going to see a lot of arms. I would not be surprised at all to see Max Trophy for at least an inning on Tuesday. I think he's got to get in there and get some work so we can start to depend on him during SEC play.
Okay, and remember, Ole Miss and Florida in Gainesville Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If my shots were a little bit earlier, my vaccination was done, I was going to go up to Gainesville, but I'll be getting vaccinated in the middle of the series, so I'm not going to be able to catch that. But I'll catch it on SEC Network Plus. Anyway, this has been Chris Muller from the Rebel Walk talking Ole Miss baseball. We'll be back hopefully midweek, if not the weekend series for sure, and tell you everything you need to know about that series. For Chris, I'm Steve. I'll see you later.
Howdy.